panels. Good afternoon. I'm Martina Gauci.
I'm Jonathan.
And I'm Chanelle Psaila.
And we have infrastructure in Marsa. So with this team and this site in mind, we decided to do solar powered charging ports for electrical vehicles. So let's imagine we're in Marsa and we're driving our electrical car, either we're in a junction or a bypass, and our battery is down on rock. There's too much traffic to get from the environment. And there are little to no charging ports close by. So we want to create a charging port close by for these electric cars. People passing from Marsa can use them, people working in Marsa and even living in Marsa. So the whole point of electric vehicles are to reduce the emissions of CO2 in the atmosphere. But the electricity needed for these vehicles is still produced in power stations. So we want to eliminate this. The EU set us goals for how much usable energy we need to take care of, and we need to produce at least 32%. But Malta is only producing 12.2% at the moment, so we want to help with this. So our idea is to generate the electricity needed for the chargers by using solar panels. So now imagine you're charging your car, these take up to hours. So what, you're going to stay waiting in your car over there for 6-7 hours? So apart from the car park, we're also going to have a spot for commercial purposes. So there will be restaurants, cafeterias, playgrounds, and even gardens. Now I'm going to hand it over to Chanelle.
So our inspiration was a sunflower. You might ask, but why a sunflower? So a sunflower has a unique structure. It does something called heliotropism, which maximizes sunlight absorption. So when it's wet, the flower faces the direction of the sun, and as the sun changes direction, it changes with it. So this is what we want our solar panels to do. We also researched some case studies, and we found out that there's already this idea and it's already being practiced. We found a house that moves in the direction of the sun, so from the east to the west. And we found out that it can be done and it is sustainable. And the sunflower also does photosynthesis, which means that the sunflower absorbs the rays from the sun and converts it into energy. This is what we want the solar panels to do. And so this is a collage that we made of how we want our structure to look like. So this is the flower which will be covered with solar panels. There is also the charging points of the cars, and there is also a restaurant.
So the location is in Marsa, right there, and specifically it's the old power station in Marsa next to the ocean, and we thought it would be a good place as we can reuse the materials from the power station, such as the steel, for a material called ferroc, which is actually 5 times stronger than cement and is eco-friendly due to it absorbing carbon dioxide while it's drying. And we can use the copper for the frame of the solar panels. And the audience will be the people with electric cars passing from the Marsa bypass and junction, and also the general public. And it is a good audience.
So this was an early concept art which I had created. So this is like a plan from a bird's eye view, and we wanted it to look like there are a lot of flowers. So this was the concept when we were thinking of how many petals to do. In fact, this has 6 petals, and finally we ended up with 8 petals.
And this is one of the initial plans of the project. First, it started off with the harbor, and there's the restaurant and the park with the playground. And these are all, the X's are all the flowers, the solar flowers. And here's a 3D image.
So this is a cross-section of what one flower is going to look like. So basically, the stem is going to be about 20 meters high, and it's going to be made out of steel. and each petal is about 15 meters in height, and so it's strong and it sort of stays up. We're going to dig about 10 meters into the ground, and if need be, we'll create pillars to hold them up like this. This was a 3D sketch we did just to have an idea in our minds of what we wanted to do.
And like I said before, we will be reusing the old materials from the old power station. And many people in Malta actually want electric cars, but many of them don't get them because of the fact that there's not enough charging stations. And this would solve the fact, and because there's a big charging station in the middle of Malta.
So when it comes to technical considerations and economical feasibility, we think our project is going to cost about 13 million euros, and this seems like a big number, but this number includes the maintenance, the workers, and materials for the speed, the petals, the solar panels, and the chargers. What's not included in this price is the land, as we're hoping to get a government concession for this. Now, we're going to be using quite a large area of it. We're going to use about 41,507 meters squared of it, but as we said, most of it will go for the parking, and then the other half will go for commercial purposes. So as profit per year, we're thinking of making 1,148,469 euros, and we think the payback will last about 11 years. I agree to 11 hours. So how we calculated this 11 hours and the profits, we basically focused on 3 main points. The first being the hours per day the chargers are being used. And to get the 11 years, we used it as 15 hours. Then the fee for using the chargers, and we're thinking of charging about 16 cents. And finally, how much we're going to rent the commercial space for. And we're thinking of renting it for about 500 euros. Now, according to our target, either we decrease the numbers or increase the numbers according to if we want to lengthen the payback or shorten the payback.
So this is the final model we did, and there's a scale for the car, and would be approximately how big it would be. And I would just like to mention that this is just a pilot project because we were in Marsa and infrastructure, and we could have this charging ports actually anywhere on Malta.
So in conclusion, our project will be sustainable, it would help reach the EU goals set for us, it will help with the problem of climate change, and finally it's very convenient. Thank you.